Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of In the Den with AG. It's just going to be me today, but it doesn't mean that I'm just going to stop talking about all the intriguing news in the sports world. I will start with some news that's been happening around in the NBA as the Pacers snapped the Cleveland Cavaliers' 12-game winning streak, and they hadn't lost the Cavs since December 8th. Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nembhard led the way for the Pacers with 18 and 19 points respectively as they took down the Cavaliers as a statement win to climb above the rankings in the Eastern Conference. And they will try to get back to that level as they reached the Eastern Conference Finals last season, and they will try to reach it again this season after a really slow start. It's the 6th win in a row as well for the Pacers as they continue their hot stretch as well. And in other news, the Thunder easily take down the Wizards 136-95. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander helps his MVP case with a 27-point game, which is his 8th straight 25-plus point game. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is averaging 31.4 points per game, which is tied with Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks, tied for first in the league. And he is the odds-on favorite according to DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever you want to go. He is the odds-on favorite next to Nikola Jokic as the MVP winner. And another big game that happened is the New York Knicks decimates the Milwaukee Bucks 140-106. Here's the recap. Jalen Brunson makes history. He had 44 points in just 29 minutes in the game. That's the most points scored by a Knick in that little time since Bernard King, who had held that record for over 3 decades. Even though he got injured in the third quarter, Brunson, he had to leave to go to the locker room. He still had an amazing and historic game. Karl-Anthony Towns, his fellow teammates, also had a great game, 30 points, 18 rebounds. And on the other side of the court, Giannis had a 24 points, 13 rebound game. Towns also had a triple-double as well as the Knicks take down the Bucks to help their case in the top 3 to climb up the rankings in the East. This is also the first time that the Knicks have beaten a top 6 side, except for the lowly Magic with all their injuries, since November 8th, which was also against the Bucks. And now, in other news, we will be moving over to the NFL as we take a recap of wildcard weekends. The Texans, Ravens, and Bills easily take care of their opponents to advance to the divisional rounds. And the Commanders and the Buccaneers had an insane game, had a great game last night as the Commanders win on a game-winning field goal as it breaks their 16-year waits for a playoff game. First time since, I think, 2006. I could be wrong about that. Final score, 23-20, Commanders, Tampa Bay. It's Jaden Daniels' first playoff win, which is obviously a great feeling for your rookie season. The final scores for the games as well. Ravens 28, Steelers 14. Ravens take care of business. Derrick Henry has 2 touchdowns, 186 yards. Eagles 23, Packers 10. Saquon Barkley has 2 touchdowns. And Jordan Love couldn't do anything about that to help the offense. Texans 32, Chargers 12. 3 interceptions for Justin Herbert as he's still looking for his first playoff win in his career. And by the way, he's been playing for over 6 seasons now in the NFL. And we have only one more game in the wild card, which is Vikings-Rams. And my prediction, personally, I see the Vikings coming out, their offense alive, except for last week, which is obviously they were a no-show against Detroit. Sam Darnold flopped. He reminded me of his New York Jets days, obviously. But I think he will have a better game here. And I see the final score being Vikings 23, Rams 13, because the Rams offense has been out of sorts all season. I don't think they have enough pass rushers to stop Minnesota's offense. And I think that's what the final prediction is going to be. Now, moving on, here is my predictions for the rest of the NFL playoffs. In the AFC, we have Chiefs, Texans in the divisional round. CJ Stroud has a sophomore slump. Joe Mixon is carrying the running offense. Nico Collins as well. Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs have been out for half the season, basically. I see Chiefs coming on top of here. And Bills-Ravens for the other side of the AFC. That's going to be a high-scoring game. I think the highest-scoring game of the playoffs. I see the Bills just edging out of the Ravens, even though Derrick Henry, I predict, has a hat-trick of rushing touchdowns in over 150 yards. So now in the NFC, in the divisional round, we have Lions and Commanders. Now, I love this story for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels leading his team to the playoffs in so long, but I see the Lions advancing pretty easily against the Commanders. They will put up a fight, but I think they will advance in the end. Now, Eagles and Vikings. For so, the Vikings win tonight against the Rams. Eagles, Vikings. Again, that's a great redemption story for Sam Darnold, as he has over 4,000 passing yards and 20-plus touchdowns in the regular season. But I think this is where his season ends, as the Eagles and Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts leading the charge to advance to the NFC Championship against the Lions. Now, for a Lions-Eagles potential matchup, that's going to be a very high-scoring game as well. That's hard to predict. Sorry. I see it being close, and I see the Lions coming out on top in a very high-scoring game, with Jared Goff having a 4-touchdown passing game. Now, on the other side, in the AFC, we have Chiefs-Bills. Now, the Chiefs have been able to win close games all season. They're 15-2, but it doesn't mean they're the best team in the NFL, obviously, if you've been watching at all. But I feel like if Josh Allen is going to win a Super Bowl in his career, it's going to be this year. It has to be this year for him. So I see the Bills finally leading the hump over their playoff demons and beating the Chiefs to advance to the Super Bowl against the Lions. And again, like I just said, this is the year for Josh Allen, most likely to win regular season MVP over Lamar Jackson. That's what I think, me personally. Lions, congratulations for making the Super Bowl. In my predictions, you've been through a lot as a franchise, and obviously it's a great game for you. I see Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and others. And if Aiden Hutchinson returns, I see them all doing well. But this is Josh Allen's year, in my prediction. This is Josh Allen's year. And I see the Bills winning in a 20-10 game as the 2025 Super Bowl champions, the Buffalo Bills. Those are my final predictions. Now, anything can happen in the NFL. Anything can happen. Upsets and such. Which is fine. That's just how the NFL plays out. So those are my final predictions for the rest of the NFL playoffs. So stay tuned for that. And in other news, in the MLB world, Pete Alonso has offered the Mets a 3-year deal with Scott Boras, a 3-year deal, $93 million. So obviously $200 million was off the table for a while. I think $150 million is still a reach as of now. So I see this as a good deal, and I don't see why the Mets wouldn't accept it, why Pete Alonso wouldn't accept that as well. It's only a matter of time before he returns to the New York Mets. Because obviously, you know, the Yankees, the Astros, the Nationals, they've all replaced their first place problems with top-notch first baseman. So, again, I think it's inevitable. It's only a matter of time before Pete Alonso returns to his boyhood club, the only club he's known for his entire MLB career, ever since he joined the league in 2019. Most home runs in the National League, second most home runs ever since joining the league, just behind Aaron Judge. And I see him returning to the Mets on a 3-year, $93 million deal. So, yeah. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast, and I'll see you all on the next episode. Peace out.